Three, two, one, start.
Eccoci ragazzi, ragazzini,
Buonasera.
buonasera.
Hello.
How are you, my friends, my best friends?
My beloved
Hello.
friends, my loves.
We're very good. We're looking forward to having you in 5 days, 4 days.
Esatto, everybody in Athens in a few days. Yes, exactly. Allora, hello to our friends connected with us from...
Should we do the map? No, not every time.
No, not every time. But I see Manchester, I see Beirut, Stockholm, Argentina, Chicago, UK, Berlin, Romania, Sweden, Verona, Dakar, Wales, Trento, Estonia, Uzbekistan, Brescia, Latvia, Ukraine, Hungary. What else?
Colombia, Russia, Oslo, Thessaloniki,
Yeah.
Roma.
Roma, Poland.
Lara.
Wonderful, wonderful.
By,
Today we're just
by
what?
looking up of last week, which was very nice, by the way, I realized that we need to increase the participation in Africa.
In Africa. We have a little bit of north
A little bit of north, yeah, a little bit of north and south.
and
We
south.
we miss the central part,
Mhm.
I would say.
Yes, but today we will speak about a special topic. Sebi, could you launch the question of the week? Do you know BAUSS? What is BAUSS? Very strange, huh?
It is.
Costantino, you also didn't know about BAUSS, eh? So
No,
yes, who cares? I mean, you can also say who cares. I mean, it's let's say, Sebbi, come stai? Tutto bene?
Debbie, show us. No, non fa sto gioco.
Yes, yes. Oh, everybody said no. Ah, okay.
No.
So we need to speak about it. Eh?
Cano, did I tell you how much I like your haircut? Did I tell you? I told you, I know, but I will tell you every time.
Yes, 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 yes.
I love
Hairless Sebbi.
it. Evolve, my friend.
Careless.
This is evolution.
Exactly.
Come on, let's go. I want to know what is it.
Yes, you want to know what it is. Okay. Okay, should I start? Yes, I suppose I start.
Yes.
Well, maybe we see first the classic staging, and then you show the bows.
Okay, okay. Who's going to speak about the classic staging?
Nisa.
Yeah, I am speaking.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Nisa, go ahead. Yes, yes, yes.
Melanoma staging. So we're going to speak about prognosis, staging and prognosis.
Prognosis, exactly.
Exactly, that's the point. So Nisa?
Yeah. And here is the staging of a American Joint Committee. And as you can see, this is the latest version, and it was published in 2018. And in this category, when we look at T1, it's subclassified as T1A and B. And when it's smaller than 0.8 millimeter without alteration, it's T1A. If it is larger than 0.8 millimeter with alteration, then T1B. And when we look at T2, it's between 1 to 2, and alteration is not specified here. And if we say T1, T2A, it's between 1 to 2 without ulceration. And when there is ulceration, then this is T2B. When we go to T3, then the measurement is between 2 to 4. If it is with ulceration, it's T3A. If there's an ulceration with ulceration, then it's T3B. And when we go to T4, when it is larger than 4 millimeter without ulceration, this is T4A. And with ulceration, then T4B.
So B is always
Especially,
with ulceration. B is always with ulceration. Yeah, good.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And you see the measurements. And when we talk about melanoma with unknown primary, and when they ask us the primary and we don't know where's the primary, then we call this as T0. No evidence of primary tumor. And for example, metastatic melanoma to an axillary lymph node, no evidence of primary tumor, then we call it T0. And let's make a little bit practice for T1A without metastasis to lymph node and organ metastasis. This is 1A, stage 1A. For T1B, it's again 1A. For T2A, it's 1B. For T2B, it's stage 2A. T3A, 2A again. T3B, 2B, T4A, 2B, and T4B, 2C, when there is no metastasis in lymph node and organ metastasis.
A little bit complicated, right?
Yeah, it will be more complicated later.
Yeah.
When there's clinically called regional lymph nodes and sentinel, this is called as sentinel lymph node positivity. And when there is clinically detected regional lymph nodes and in-transit and satellites and microsatellites, we are going to end stage. Let's go there. I skip and let's look at N1A. What's N1A? When there is clinically occult involvement, for example, it's detected by sentinel lymph node biopsy, this is N1A. When there is clinically detected lymph node involvement, then this is N1B. And when we go to N1C, there is no regional lymph node disease, but there is in-transit or satellite or microsatellite metastasis. The difference is with the right part. And this is much more bigger.
So
and
satellite, sorry, Nisa, transit and satellite and microsatellite are more advanced stage as
exactly
lymph nodes. That's a message to remember.
Yeah, this is the message. Yeah, and this is a little bit bigger. Yeah. And for N2, and when we speak about when 2A, 2 or 3 clinically occult involvements, and it's detected by sentinel lymph node biopsy, and there is in-transit satellite or microsatellite metastasis. No metastasis. For N2B, 2 or 3 clinically detected, no in-transit satellite or microsatellite metastasis, just the number of the involved lymph nodes increased here. And for N2C, 1 clinically occult or clinically detected and plus in-transit satellite and or microsatellite metastasis found. This time, the number of lymph nodes increased. And when we go to N3, this time for N3A, there is more than 4 clinically occult metastases in the lymph nodes, no in-transit satellite or microsatellite metastasis. And for N3B, again, more than 4 lymph nodes, and at least one of which was clinically detected, or presence of any method nodes, and no in-transit again metastasis. And for N3C, more than 2 clinically occult or clinically detected and/or presence of any method nodes with presence of in-transit satellite and/or microsatellite metastasis. And here is the category of lymph nodes. And you can see again, presence of microsatellites, satellites, or in-transit metastasis categorized as N1C, N2C, or N3C based on the number of involved regional lymph nodes. This is a summary. And for M disease, for M0, there's no detectable evidence of distant metastasis. For M1A, there's metastasis to skin, soft tissue, including muscle, and/or non-regional lymph nodes. And for M1B, there's lung metastasis with or without M1A involvement. For M1C, there is distant metastasis to non-central nervous system, visceral sites with or without M1A or M1B involvement. And for M1D, there is distant metastasis to central nervous system with or without M1A or M1B involvement. So the worst thing is the central nervous system involvement. And cases of metastasis in which the LDH level is known are given to suffix 0 for normal LDH level or 1 for elevated LDH level. Again, LDH level reflect the worst prognosis like central nervous system involvement. And here is the summary of the staging, and I will not again explain because it's very complicated. Maybe we can compare the stages when we know the lymph node and organ metastasis, and especially the T level. We can look at this table for staging. Thank you. Any question?
Thank you, Nisa. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Since it's very complicated,
Yeah.
we developed an app which is called Mel App.
Mel.
Yeah. Can you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Mel App.
That's
Yeah. Okay. And it's easy to use in order to not to get completely crazy with all this.
Like pocket guides.
Well, but
should we, before we see the alternative that Jep is gonna show when he introduced us to the BAUSSS, could we, of all these complicated staging and sub-staging of melanoma, could we, let's say, summarize the important things? So, for example, in the sub-classification of M, I don't see any relevance because it doesn't change the management.
Yeah.
Of course, we know that brain metastasis is much more resistant to any treatment. It's brain metastasis, the combination of the double immunotherapy is definitely the treatment of choice. But this is also, nowadays, this is true for any M stage.
Yeah.
The combination of immunotherapy is the first line anyhow for all of them. So the sub-staging of M, in my view, is not really relevant clinically. The sub-staging of N, again, is not particularly relevant. Of course, it does have a prognostic importance, especially the stage 3D is very poor, the prognosis. But in terms of management strategy, again, I think that nothing is important, maybe except of stage 3 that corresponds to N1A or N2A together with a thin primary melanoma. So you need to be T1 plus N1A. Then if you are in stage 3A, the difference is that in some of the approval studies for adjuvant immunotherapy, stage 3A was practically not included. I think for immunotherapy, it was not included. It's only for the targeted therapy. Theoretically, if you have a stage 3A, the decision to perform or not adjuvant therapy is under discussion with the patient. You have to judge the pros and cons because
Exactly. So let's make an example. If you have a 0.9 millimeter thick melanoma with a positive sentinel node biopsy, this is a stage 3A. And
Sure,
in
yeah.
these cases, the discussion is ongoing if it's worth or not performing adjuvant treatment because let's say the outcome, the benefit could be very, very limited. So
the
you have to treat
because the prognosis is anyhow perfect. That's
very
why.
good. Yeah, you have to treat, I don't know
Yeah.
how many patients in order to make an advantage for one patient, you know? So, and of course, immunotherapy is not a walking,
In
is
the
not
park.
it's an heavy treatment, so it's not really worth doing it.
Yeah. And then concerning the staging of T that Nisa showed analytically, I think that we have to keep two cutoffs. The one cutoff
Yeah.
we need to keep is the cutoff for 1B, because from that point on, there is the indication for sentinel lymph node biopsy.
Mhm.
And this cutoff is 0.8 if the melanoma is not ulcerated. While if the melanoma is ulcerated, then it's already 1B, so irrespectively of the breast thickness. And the second cutoff, which became important recently, is the cutoff for stage 2B and above, because then we have the indication for adjuvant immunotherapy, and the cutoff is either 4 millimeters without ulceration or 2 millimeters with ulceration.
With ulceration. Exactly.
I think that these are the
And
These are
this
the most important ones. Yes.
Mhm.
the real cutoff in terms of thickness is 2 millimeter. 2 millimeter makes a
Mhm.
big difference because below 2 millimeter, the prognosis is quite good, while above it starts to be quite heavy. Yeah. By the way, okay, so we did a summary. Yeah.
problem with this nice staging system and why you don't like it and why you want to show us something else. I mean,
No, but I want to show you something else, just to have an alternative. BAUSSS is a different way. Not too much. I mean, BAUSSS has no ambition in terms of classification of melanoma. It's not a classification system, a staging system. It's a prognostic system. No? So these are 1, 2, 3, 6 parameters which are important to understand if this melanoma is going to kill the patient or not. Okay?
yeah, but don't you think that in the background, it has the ambition also to influence the management decisions? Because otherwise,
Course, yes, yes, definitely. It has the ambition to influence management decisions, but I mean, we are not speaking about the staging system. The staging could remain like it is, but the point is that these two gentlemen have not the same probability to die, even though they have a completely similar melanoma, 2.2 millimeter non-ulcerated. They're both the same, but this gentleman on the left is a 27-year-old guy, while the other one is 81. Okay, and we know for sure that the prognosis of the 81 gentleman is much worse than the prognosis of the 27-year-old boy. Okay.
should we ask? Should we? Do you have the numbers for these cases? Should we
Yes,
ask?
no. I will tell you in a minute. I will
Yeah.
tell you in a minute.
Maybe first ask the audience to predict which they believe is the prognosis for the guy on the left and the guy on the right.
Okay, we can, but in my view, it's extremely difficult to say, because I mean we don't handle very well the little percentages behind behind these differences. What I wanted to say is that for the AJCC system, these two gentlemen have the same prognosis. So if they are 2A, if the sentinel node biopsy will be negative, okay, and their prognosis is 88% for both, while it's not true, okay. While if they have a positive sentinel node, they become 3B melanoma patients, and their prognosis is going to be 77% for both of them. But it's not true. It's not true. Okay. So, and there is another issue which is very important. Not only age is an independent factor influencing the prognosis of melanoma, but also age is influencing the positivity or the negativity of the sentinel node biopsy procedure. Okay? Because this is something we don't know very well, but it's a matter of fact that it was proven by this group of people led by Anthony Dixon. He's a surgeon from Australia who decided to make a fight, a general fight against sentinel node biopsy.
It's not a fight. It's an entire war with.
Yeah, it's a war.
It's a war.
And the most interesting thing is that he's a surgeon. So
yeah, he's a surgeon. He's a surgeon.
Yeah.
Surgeon. So, and he demonstrated that sentinel node biopsy has poor validity in patients younger than 40 years of age and older than 60 years of age. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
which
40 to 60.
Yes.
They're still young.
In sentinel node biopsy is good, is valid between 40 and 60, but it's not valid before 40 and after 60. Okay, so I can give you now an example which is incredible. So this is a diagram taken from the paper, and I give you just an example considering two patients having a melanoma of 4 millimeter of Breslov thickness. Okay, so if I have a patient with 4 millimeter melanoma and his age is 20, okay, his probability to have a sentinel node biopsy positive is 51%. So it's more or less 1 out of 2 will become positive to the sentinel node biopsy, while their mortality, the mortality of this 20-year-old guy is only 23%. Okay?
The probability to die. Yeah.
The mortality, exactly. While if we take in consideration a patient with a 4 millimeter thick melanoma, but his age is 80, okay, 80, his probability to have a positive sentinel node biopsy is only 17%, while his mortality is 58.
Oh, 58 mortality rate.
Yes.
Much more higher.
Yes. Can you imagine? So in this particular context, performing a sentinel node biopsy is just not nonsense, because it's a matter of fact that younger individuals have a better prognosis than older individuals, and younger individuals have a higher chance to get a positive sentinel node biopsy compared to older individuals. So it's the opposite.
Like Spitznivus.
It's the opposite, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why sentinel node biopsy is not a good prognostic factor in these young and old age groups. Okay? So now, that's why Anthony Dixon, again, is proposing another algorithm, another, let's say, normogram, which was called BAUSSS. It's made of 6 parameters. B stands for Breslov, A, age, U, ulceration, S, site of the melanoma, S, sex of the patient, S, subtype of the melanoma, superficial spreading, nodular, acral, and so on. Okay, and that's the normogram. Okay, so now I give you an example how to calculate the real probability of this patient to survive based on BAUSSS. So he is the 27-year-old man with a 2.2 millimeter non-ulcerated melanoma. So this is the lesion. So now it's very easy to calculate. You see that the first column regards people in the age group of 20 years, okay? And 2.2, you see the Breslov, and this is the probability to die, okay? 6%. Of course, I mean, here the lesion is located on the trunk, so there it's 1, so you don't have to multiply anything. It remains 6, and also the you know, in the first in the green column, it's the non-ulcerated melanoma. So it's just it's a matter of fact that this guy has a 15-year mortality rate of 6%. Okay, so 94% probability to survive, which is not so bad, independently from the sentinel node biopsy. Okay, now same story. Let's see what's going on with this 81-year-old man with a 2.2 millimeter non-ulcerated melanoma. This is the lesion, and here the calculation. The column of the 80 years of age patients is 18. Okay, it's not anymore 66, but it's 18. Okay, so the mortality becomes 18, not anymore 6. So
Triple.
Triples.
Triple, exactly. Independent from the sentinel node biopsy. Independent.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a little bit the point why I think we should really rethink about a little bit about practical things, which is the adjuvant treatment, which is the real sense to perform a sentinel node biopsy in an 85-year-old person, okay, or in a very young individual, because a very young individual.
Who can take this risk, Jeppe? Because on the other hand, the patient is young, and on the other side, the patient is very old. So we need to increase the survival of the young patient. So who can encourage this? So it's not so practical, I think. Don't you think so?
No. It's not a matter of being practical or not. It's too early. You know what I mean?
Too early.
But it's just too early. But I'm pretty sure that in 10 years, maybe less, we will change our way of doing based on these additional factors, which is not only Breslov, ulceration, and sentinel node biopsy. Okay, but it's also age. It's also location on the body. For example, a 2.2 millimeter melanoma on the head. It's definitely much worse. Much worse. You know what I mean? So there are additional factors we have to take into consideration.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one question. So this, as an approach, would not have a sentinel lymph node biopsy, right? The only role here would be, of course, prognostic, but in a big part, getting adjuvant treatment, immunotherapy. We need to take this into consideration, like the differentiation in these like 15-year outcomes of how adjuvant treatment, like immunotherapy, would actually alter these percentages, because this is also an important factor.
Yeah, this is mixed thing, Konstantinos. The problem is mixed because exactly because of the limitations of the current classification that Jeppe showed, we practically treat in the same way people that have 10% risk or 15% risk for a negative outcome with somebody who has 65% risk for a negative outcome. That's strange, I would say. I'm not saying that there is a definite solution for the moment for this. But the first step is to realize that this is a little bit strange.
Yeah. For example, let's take into consideration this 20-something-year-old guy, and he has a 6% probability to die. So his chances to survive is very high, right? And he eventually of course, we are going to do a sentinel node biopsy, of course, because Nisa, as you said, for the moment, we should do it. And he will eventually be positive. And now I know, so I have to consider this is my son, okay? And I have to decide if it's worth doing, let's say, an heavy treatment, which is the adjuvant treatment, for only 6% probability that this patient will die.
Yeah.
The overall probability of developing permanent problem with immunotherapy, either thyroid or cortisol deficiency, is 20%.
Yeah.
Depends on the age also.
Hepatitis.
In young people, it's higher.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's higher.
in younger patients, it's higher. So
Yeah.
that's definitely something to take into account. No, what I love about this is that a discussion has been started, because definitely the system that we're using right now is flawed. Like, we cannot treat two so different individuals with so different likelihoods of bad outcome the same way. Do you think that personalized medicine, like biomarkers, would play a role in this?
For sure. No question about it. We have to decide patient by patient, of course, having clear-cut guidelines, which are telling us, the basics, and then deciding case by case. Yeah.
Absolutely. We need better prognostication. That's the goal, and all the efforts that are done in genetic biomarkers, but also digital biomarkers that I will show you in a moment. All these tools probably will improve the prognostication. So when you have a more accurate prognosis, then you can change the management decisions. Because let me show you something which is very, very much supporting what JP showed. That's the BAUSSS again. It's the same tool that JP showed, but here you see the corresponding TNS stages. So look something impressive. Look here, T3B. T3B means a tumor which today is amenable for adjuvant therapy. Okay, for sure. They all have the indication for adjuvant therapy. But within the same stage, there are patients with 14% probability to die, and within the same stage, there are patients with 62% probability to die. And according to the TNM, these two patients are the same thing, and they are treated in the same way.
Yeah.
So that is a problem. Yeah, that is a problem. For sure, it's a problem.
This graph that you're showing right now is so impressive. Like, this kind of differentiation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they belong in the same stage, but they have extremely different probability of a negative event. So it's food for thought. First of all, there are a couple of questions. First, in your opinion, the cut-off is 2 millimeters with or without ulceration? I think this refers to the comment that JP
Yes, the comment I did before, 2 millimeter in general, but of course, 2 millimeter with ulceration makes the prognosis much, much worse. Yeah. In general, ulceration is really a bad thing. Yeah.
What do you think about mitosis? Like, they're now only used for patients younger than 42 years of age.
Well, I think that in this more holistic way of better prognostication, also mitosis are a parameter that should be taken into account. So if you have a melanoma with many mitosis, you cannot ignore this information. So the idea is that you have to integrate more things, like the age, like the mitosis, like the TIL status, or the tumor infiltrating lymphocyte, several parameters that should be taken all together into account in order to define better the risk of the individual patient to die. So in this sense, I think that also mitosis are important.
Yeah, because for
Why?
me, Oh, sorry.
So
But
say.
no, but for me, like 1.5 millimeter melanoma with two mitosis is less aggressive, like with the same other characteristics, is less aggressive than 1.5 millimeter with 11 mitosis.
Of course, yeah.
Biologically, inherently, it's a different beast.
No,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. But
May I ask a question with the age factor again? Let's go to Jeppy's case. One is 81, one is 22 years old. Both patients have ulceration and the breast of thickness is similar. And both patients have metastatic disease. Can you compare the survival rate of the patients? For example, I have many elderly patients with metastatic disease, but they're not dying. But young patients shows much more aggressive survival rates when I compare to elderly patients. It's much more aggressive when there is metastatic disease in young patients.
According to data, not precisely. In general, younger patients with melanoma, with metastatic melanoma, have a better prognosis as compared to older patients with metastatic melanoma.
Okay.
On the other hand, older people respond even better to immunotherapy as compared to younger people. Yeah, so it's not easy to give a unique answer.
But I also think that it's an inherent bias that we tend to dramatize more the events that happen in younger individuals. So I think that it's our own bias that plays into account because like one death in a 32-year-old, well, I know it's not.
Yeah, you remember it forever. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it stays with you.
Why BAUSSS is not valid before 20 and after 40?
No,
Explain why.
there was a misunderstanding. Sentinel node biopsy is
And then biopsy. Yeah. So sorry.
not valid for before 20 and after 40.
Yeah, JP explained why, because in young people, even
Because
when it's positive,
young people have anyhow better prognosis, but on the opposite, they have a much higher probability to have a positive sentinel node biopsy. And it's the
Like
opposite
spitz
on the other
news.
side. Opposite in the older individuals, in which the prognosis is worse and the chance to get a positive sentinel node is much lower.
Exactly. So, professors, do you not recommend sentinel lymph node biopsy in patients under 40 and in patients under above 60?
No, we do, because of course we have to follow the guidelines. We have to follow the guidelines. Of course, in some very old patients, we speak together with the multidisciplinary team if it's worth or not performing a complicated procedure in a very old individual. But in general, we do.
In general, we do. Of course, I'm not afraid to say that what we stopped doing, although it's not yet in the guidelines, I'm sure it's going to be in the next update, is that we don't routinely do sentinel lymph node biopsy when the stage is 2B or 2C, because these patients anyhow will be treated with immunotherapy. So we don't do it as a routine. We might do it only in selected patients, but not in all of them for sure. Could a remarkable regression influence the stage?
Yes.
Yes, it could influence the stage.
Definitely. Usually regression is estimating the real thickness of melanoma. And that's why we have melanoma patients dying with a 0.7 millimeter thick melanoma with extensive regression.
Extensive.
Yeah, maybe 1 year before the thickness was higher. Yeah.
Hello, a bit out of the topic. Would you perform surgical re-excision for a Spitz nevus in an adult? No.
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 Do you have clear margins?
No.
You don't take in account, says Pascal, comorbidity higher at 80 compared to 20. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
No,
People.
but we're talking about melanoma specific death.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about death of any other cause. We're talking about melanoma specific death. All these data.
It's melanoma specific.
Yeah.
That's related to melanoma.
Then Grazka says, Sentinel lymph node biopsy has the potential just for adjuvant therapies. Yeah, of course, definitely.
Yeah.
There is no predictive value. Yes. Apart from stages 3C and 3D, yes, but 3D and 3C are not defined by the sentinel lymph node biopsy. Probably we will give up this procedure within the next years. We agree more or less. We are looking for new biomarkers, but in PT1, we don't know what is the predictive value for the very, very late metastasis within the next 10 years for the patient in central nervous system mets. Huge problem. Late metastasis in early melanoma patients. That's a very good point. So it is observed that when early stage melanoma metastasizes, it might happen late, like several years after, and like maybe 10 years after. And as Gradska says, that we don't have for the moment any biomarker to predict those percentage of those that will metastasize.
Why do you think this happens?
Usually, I mean, maybe I didn't catch the question, but usually what happens is that if I have a 4 mm thick melanoma, if I have the destiny to die, I will die in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. While if I have a 1 mm thick melanoma and my destiny is ugly and I'm going to die, maybe metastasis will come in 10 years.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're speaking about. What about the vaccine and immunotherapy? The vaccine is for the moment only in clinical trials. We expect to see the results. We don't know. And it's always it's combined with immunotherapy. And I think that we got more of the questions. I think so. Does age influence the response to adjuvant therapy? Okay, we have a video. Go, go, go.
Very happy. Are you happy?
Very happy.
Very.
Very happy.
But the other video with the more rock music is better, I think. It's like more catchy. You get into it.
Does age influence the response to adjuvant therapy? I'm not sure if we have data about adjuvant, but as we said before, in general, elderly people have improved outcomes, even better responses to immunotherapy than younger people. That's what we have data for. And then, Konstantinos, is there something that you want to show? Because
I mean, some case, but there's no need. Like, move forward.
Okay. Yeah, should I show this? It's 8:40. Yeah, why not? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me show you something very hot, very, very, very hot, since we speak about biomarkers to predict melanoma prognosis. And let's speak about dermoscopy to predict melanoma metastasis. First of all, that's a paper already published in the BJD, as you can see. And this is an AI system trained only on dermatoscopic images. And this AI model, by evaluating dermatoscopic images, was able to predict the development of metastasis just by the dermatoscopic image. Unbelievable. In an equal accuracy to breast liquidness ulceration. That's something very promising in my view. Imagine that this is just one effort. So imagine what can be done with AI, with better data. And in my view, this is an example of what we should use AI for instead of focusing on replacing dermatologists for diagnosis, which is meaningless. But the new thing I want to show you, which is unpublished yet, is the study in which human readers evaluated the dermatoscopic images, not AI. And again, these evaluations were used to predict melanoma metastasis. So that was a multicentric study with 10 centers around the world. I will skip the criteria that we included. I want to go directly to the main results. And these are not the main results because these are the analytic percentages. You can find them in the paper soon, I hope. What I want to show you is this. So we have four dermatoscopic predictors that appear to predict metastasis. Two are positively associated, two negatively. And these are the following. First, heavy pigmentation appears to be protective of metastasis. So when it's heavily pigmented, it appears to have a lower chance to metastasize. First. Second, dermatoscopic ulceration, and especially extensive means when it covers more than 50% of the lesion, then it's a negative predictor. So it predicts metastasis. Then regression structures. Our favorite regression in this analysis proved to be significant and protective. So when we have extensive regression, that's a good sign for metastasis. And finally, blue-white veil is a negative sign. So we have predicting metastasis. So we have two bad signs, which are blue-white veil and extensive ulceration, and two good signs, which is heavy pigmentation and regression. So I don't know if, and these are just the curves that show the prediction that when you combine this information with histopathology, then you get the best prediction for melanoma prognosis. So I don't know if we should slowly start getting used to thinking in this way. It's too early, I think, but just to get an initial idea. These are two melanomas, both of them 1 millimeter thick. One metastasized, the other one did not metastasize. So based on what we said, can you predict?
Easy. Right.
The right one. Right.
Bad.
The right one metastasized, correct? The left one did not metastasize, and we can see extensive regression on the left, while on the right we can see there is no regression and there is also a blue-white veil. Same stuff again, 1.2 millimeters this time, one metastasized.
The right one.
The right one metastasized. You can see this very large ulcerated area in the center of the lesion, suggestive of which is a negative predictor.
And blue-white veil.
And blue-white veil, of course, and blue-white veil. 2 millimeter thick. One metastasized,
right.
one did not metastasize.
One again.
Right one again. Right one again. Again, quite extensive ulceration and blue-white veil. And the last one, 4 millimeter melanomas. Right one that metastasized. So I repeat, it's too early, but don't you think it's fascinating?
What was the mean follow-up time? What was the mean follow-up time of the tumors? You remember?
Of course, I don't remember, but of course we have the follow-up time.
Probably it's 33 months or
36, I think, something like that.
Yeah. But it's strange that vascular structures was not coming out to be a positive factor.
I agree. I expected that when we thought about it, we expected ulceration. We expected also dense vascularity. That's why in the evaluation, we quantified also the vascularity. But it did not appear to be the case. Yeah.
No, but this is amazing, Emilios.
Very, very good study, Emilios. I like it. Yeah.
It was circulating just today. It was circulating just today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very-
And then, what else? Sebastiano, do we have any other videos to show before we go to the last things? Don't, no?
Sebi?
Yes.
Here we are. Here we are. Here we are.
In the heart of a city built on legends, not every hero wears a cape. Some carry no weapons, just a keen eye and a dermatoscope. They fight a silent enemy, one mole at a time. This isn't magic, it's training, precision, pattern recognition. At the Dermoscopy Academy, we sharpen vision to save lives because every spot tells a story, and in that story, time is everything. Train, focused, standing tall above the city, ready to face the unseen. The world needs more heroes. Become one. The Dermoscopy Academy in New York City.
Wow. Wow. Impressive.
Amazing.
October. Second week of October.
Excellent.
Excellent.
But they should think about start professionally deal with film production, I guess.
No, like their productions is amazing.
Yeah.
Who's doing that?
Okay, you will show it. Okay, good.
Oscar goes to Japan Emilios.
Okay, so just very fast, we have a nice case from Daria. Hello, Daria. 4 tests for the nail lesion. First test. Let's see.
Where it's painful.
Oh,
Almost.
Love it.
very funny. Okay, so this is only the first. Let's see the second. So no pain. No pain. Okay, but now I don't understand.
So
Did you?
when you cut off the vascular flow, the glomus tumor does not hurt.
Does not hurt. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay. Number 3.
Sure. Super. That's
Oh, that's
amazing.
nice.
What do you
Super
mean?
nice. Super nice.
So you should publish this, Daria.
Yes.
Great.
Great. And number 4.
Nice. Ice cube test.
Vodka with ice. No.
Yeah. The pain increase.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Painful. Very nice. I mean, the
Very nice.
glomus tumor, of course, changed contour of the lunula, symptom of the Christmas caramel. Caramel what? Because
Cane.
Change.
okay. Changed pigment network, deformation of the nail plate. Beautiful. Grande Daria.
Bravo.
Amazing.
Congratulations. Great
I don't
explanation.
know if Daria anyhow documents in this way her cases, which would be just phenomenal, or if you spend all this time just for the happy hour, we deeply appreciate it in any case.
Any case, yeah.
Yeah.
No, her videos
And
are
of course, we deeply
She always
appreciate.
shares some sort of very beautiful cases in the dermatoscopy blog as well, Facebook.
Yeah. As of course, we deeply appreciate our precious Penelope, which is always here, also today, with 5 nice cases, a strange one,
Great one.
and the 7-year-old raised pigmented lesion, which I had noticed during the previous checkup, 6 years, middle of the back. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
A dermal nevus with something odd happening
Something
top.
happening. What's your diagnosis? Dermal nevus.
Dermal nevus.
Dermal nevus.
Irregular globules, blue vein.
Dermal.
Okay. Third vessels, light brown color, milia-like cysts, terminal hair, sclerotic nevus.
Ah, okay, okay.
Wonderful, fantastic.
Wonderful case.
Then target lesion. Okay,
Nice.
nice. Really target, real target. A real target. The point is that we can only see the blood. What's beneath?
It's
Yeah.
at
Dermal nevus.
traumatized dermal nevus.
Ah, the same lesion
Yeah.
years later. Okay.
2 years later.
Okay. Perfect, perfect. So, yeah, the central hemorrhagic crust, the violaceous purple ring, and of course, that's a targetoid hemosiderotic nevus. Return to normal, of course. Then, for Jeppy, nice globules.
Nice globules. Let's see. Okay.
Coming bothersome on the back.
Oh, this is
Balloon side.
balloon
Nice.
cell nevus.
Yeah.
Nice, we love it. But it's strange because balloon cells are usually on the scalp.
On the scalp.
On
Yeah.
the scalp. Yeah.
Abundant white to yellow globules, balloon cells, clear-cut balloon cell nevus. And look
Mr.
what she prepared for me, Penelope.
That's blue.
I have strong feelings for you. Strong. I cannot say more. But look what she prepared.
A blue nevus is a blue nevus. Yeah.
So, the white blue, the white blue,
Security.
the brown blue,
Yeah.
Combined.
the happy blue,
The happy blue. Yeah.
Happy blue.
the shiny blue, the bloody blue. You see the
That's
vessel.
blue.
The bloody blue. Yeah.
Then, of course, the
The spitzy blue.
spitzy blue,
That's blue.
the spitzy blue, and finally the famous blue. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Penelope.
Base
Thank
blue.
you.
Base blue. Base blue.
Thank you so, so much. So much. And the last one, yellow for Sebi, 63-year-old, large yellow is
Nevus.
on his abdominal. Okay.
Argus nevus.
Diagnosis, nevus,
Sebaceous nevus.
sebaceous,
Argus.
Yadason. Yadason.
Yeah. Yadasan.
Wonderful.
Nevus of Yadasan.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Penelope.
Grande.
So very much.
Great.
Wonderful, fantastic. So, guys, look what happened now. My mouse went off for some reason that I don't know, which means I cannot do anything. Yeah, really.
So we have pretty much on time.
But I think Konstantinos, my friend,
Yeah.
you can enter the Kahoot account and run the Kahoot because
Absolutely.
at this moment I cannot do it.
Yes, my friend, absolutely. Actually, I was already doing that. One sec.
Yeah.
And it's good that it happened now that we have an alternative and not before.
You ran out of battery?
I just changed the batteries. Basically, it came back, but if you already did it, did you? Because I have the page open. Did you?
I just I'm sorry. I'm here.
Okay. Hmm.
Do you hear the music as well or no?
No,
Ah,
No.
great.
no, because you have to click on there's a button share music that at the moment that you share your screen, you should click this button. But it doesn't matter. We can sing. Don't worry.
Okay, I'll do that again. Dun, 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 dun.
Spirits. Spirits.
Bausoma.
Little blue. Spitzy blue.
It's blue.
Old BAUSSS.
All bugs, yeah.
Taurasi.
It's lady.
Taurasi.
Derm, also nice.
BAUSSS, of course. Derminator. Spitz, I would say that Spitz attracts the most,
Yeah, yeah,
highest attention.
yeah.
We should do another episode on Spitz. Yet another.
But when did we do an episode on Spitz? I think it was long ago. Did we do recently? No.
We did
No, last year. We did it last year.
Last season we did an episode on Spitz. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so 157 people. Let's go.
Go, go, go.
Episode 15, 5 to go.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
3/4 already done.
So here we see a 62-year-old female.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Fine.
62-year-old female with a nodule on the nose. And this is dermoscopy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fair.
Okay.
And
America.
true or false? This is simply a BCC. True or false?
No. False.
True or false? True or false? True or false? False or true? Do you think it's true or do you think it's false? True or
You're very
false?
creative, Emilius.
Yeah, very creative.
La, 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 la.
It's true.
Ooh, yay.
It's true.
Really?
Really? It was simply a BCC.
It's a BC.
It's a BCC, sign white lines. What do you think it was, Lisa?
America.
Oh, Merkel.
Yeah.
Show us. MW, McNivus, and Bauhaus.
MW got 1,000 points.
1,000.
Which means he didn't lose, or he or she didn't lose a second. It's like, tick. Okay, this is a 47-year-old male with this lesion on the occipital lobe of the scalp. And this is the dermoscopy.
Mhm.
Do we have any history, Emilios?
No.
No.
Who cares about history?
True or false? This is simply a BCC.
Is
I'll
this
tell you.
BC?
No. Again, no.
Come on.
Or
Based on the pre-test probability,
true or false? Yeah, based on the pretest probability, you can say
I
no.
would say false.
False.
Bravo. And do you want to say what also what it is, what it was? Because the pattern was
Spardenoma or hydroadenoma?
Dermal nevus.
no. Yeah, and the photo in
Hydroadenoma.
reality is very nice. Unfortunately, in Kahoot, the photos lose a lot of quality. It's a quite stereotypical example of lymphoma.
Lymphoma, eh?
Really?
That doesn't look like.
The yellow clots are seen, the orange clots are seen much better in
Yeah.
real image. Yeah.
So history, JP, only for this metastases. So I've seen a couple of crazy metastases on the scalp, especially from breast and from kidney.
Yeah.
So that was my question.
And renal also.
Renal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reno.
Casino, and Bauhaus.
MW is unbeatable.
yeah, and on fire, like so fast.
Mhm.
Okay,
Microbiota.
we
Yeah.
see the tibia of an 83-year-old female,
Yeah,
Diabetic.
not 83, a little bit less. It's okay.
73-year-old female. I was close.
That
A
was good.
dermoscopy.
Shh, don't speak, don't
Oh.
speak.
Don't
Don't speak, don't speak.
Go, 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 go.
Please. What would you like to-
Diagnosis.
Dermatitis, psoriasis, necrobiosis lipoidica, sarcoidosis, Schamberg's
I
disease,
can't
or
understand.
Ardentiano's disease.
That's
No.
it.
I'm biased. I will vote for Ardentiano either way.
Me too.
No, no, no. Although you
BPD.
got,
Schamberg.
you got your 5 votes,
Yes.
But from people that preferred to make you happy than to get the correct answer. See, this is real love. That's real
Yes.
love.
And now we have a change. Casino is on the lead.
Casino.
PH
Okay.
and Cali.
Bauhaus.
Okay. 64-year-old female
Mhm.
with a lesion,
Abdominal.
on the chest.
Chest.
Abdomen.
Abdomen.
Umbilicus, the umbilicus.
Abdomen. Abdominal.
Okay.
Umbilicus.
This is simply a BCC. True or false?
Yeah. This is
Beautiful.
Come say, the problem is that you know me so well that you know also my questions, not only my responses.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
True.
True.
Of course.
True.
Simply
Of course, it's a BCC.
And now we have
Cali.
Cali on the lead.
Bauhaus.
Cali.
Bauhaus and pH.
No, but everyone is so close.
Yeah.
I think Bauhaus
Is this the
will
final
be the
question,
winner
Emilios?
today.
Final. Yeah.
This is the clinical.
Easy one.
And this
Very
is the most
easy.
Let's see.
Let's see.
true or false. This is simply a BCC.
False.
there,
False.
there is a trap behind. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's laughing and wait and see when you say something like that. It should be a BCC then.
Is no trap.
Trap.
That is simply a BCC because I'm a nice guy.
Because you're a nice, exactly, because you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
So, podium.
Podium.
Number 3, Bauhaus.
Bauhaus.
Bravo.
Number 2, PH.
PH
Page.
and
Cali.
ta 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 ta.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I think Turkish. Tez. Turkish. It should be Turkish. I'm
Let's
sure it's
see.
Turkish.
Yeah.
Yes. Show up. Yes. You see, that was the BCC day. I don't know why I had BCC.
BCC day.
You felt optimistic.
Yeah. I had
Grande Tess. Molto bene, ragazzi. This is a miracle. We finished at only 10 minutes after 8. Impressive. How can it be possible?
No, but we are good. This year we are good. You remember it was this first season, the second, I don't remember, that sometimes we finished 9:40.
Yeah, 9:40, 9:45. No,
Tez.
now we're more on track.
Yeah.
Tez means in Turkish thesis. Thesis.
But Tess did not show up. We don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tez,
Texas.
where are you?
Yeah. It's
Therese.
Therese from Switzerland.
From Switzerland.
I'm Rosberg.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Can you pronounce her last name?
Kepsi
Naido.
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 Neido.
Teresa, brava Teresa.
Teresa.
Teresa is here.
Teresa.
Teresa and Tess. Okay.
Teresa.
Who is the winner?
Teresa.
Teresa is the winner.
Okay.
Kebzi Naidu. Thank you.
Where is
Who
Teresa?
is the winner? Kepsi or Teresa?
I think Teresa.
But hello, Kebs, either way.
No. She says internet stopped. Internet
stopped.
refresh.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Very good, very good, very good.
Very well done, Teresa. Very
you,
well
guys.
done.
Ragazzi, un bacio
Bravo.
grande. Today,
Bye-bye.
Napoli-Milan is like a final for the championship.
Really?
Oh, good luck.
Starting in half
Really?
an hour. Yeah.
Napoli.
Yes.
And also tonight, Olympiacos Panathinaikos and Ike Park plays. Like,
Yeah.
it's a night of derbies.
Oh, great.
Basically, Ike Park just finished and we won.
Really? Congratulations.
Ah,
We won. Okay.
bravo.
Very good.
Un bacio a tutti. Ciao. I love you.